Welcome to BA Pro. In this video, we will look into the second part of functional testing, that is input domain validation. Here, we will test whether all fields which accepts inputs are taking correct data or not. Here I created a template to perform the input domain validation. To do the input domain validation, we generally use BVA and ECP techniques. BVA means boundary value analysis. This technique will focus on testing the boundaries, that is the minimum and maximum values. So means a minimum and maximum are the valid range, and if we give less than minimum or greater than the maximum, it should fail or it should kind of throw an alert or give some kind of message to the user. Let's test the first name. The first name field should allow maximum of 20 characters. As it is mandatory, it should allow minimum of 1 character. So if you are not giving that, means if you are not giving any information, then it should throw an alert. If you are giving more than needed, kind of 21, then also it should not allow or it should give an alert. So let's see how it works. I'm going to the registration screen without giving any information in the first name. I'm clicking the submit. Let's see what happens there. So here you can see there is an alert. So it is working fine. So we can just mark that as a success. So let me just give a background color of green just to indicate that is working fine. Next one, let's go and give only one character information and see what happens. So if I give only one digit there and click submit, so here you can see there is no alert for the first name, so it is also working fine. So let me mark that as also green. Now let me give the maximum, that is 20 characters. Let me give 20 characters here. So let me type 5 first, 5, 10, next 15 and 20. So 20, let me click submit, whether that is throwing any alert. No, there is no alert for the first name, so it is also working fine. So let me mark that also as green. Next, let me give one more character. Let me type one more character and see what happens. So here I'm typing, but it is not taking that input. So it is also working fine. So this is also green. So the last name, that is kind of same of first name. Let me test that. So without giving any input in the last name, let me click submit. Yeah, it is giving me an alert. So that is success. And with only one character, click submit. There is no alert for the last name. So that is also working fine. So let me give 20 characters now. Click submit. No alert for last name. So it is working fine. Let me give one more character. So no, even though I'm typing, it is not taking that extra input. So it is also working fine. Next, coming to date of birth. So date of birth, as it is a calendar, you can see it generally won't allow us to give a wrong input from the calendar. So let me just click that calendar. If we are not giving anything and clicking on submit, it is giving an alert because it is a mandatory. So let me go there, and here you can see it will not allow us to take any wrong information. If we if we go to the Feb trying to select 30, there will not be any 30, right? Similarly, if I go to, for example, November and try to give 31, there will not be any 31, so it will not take. So when we are using a calendar icon, it will not allow us to give any wrong inputs, but when we are typing, generally it will take that wrong input at the time. It should throw an alert. So whenever we are giving a wrong input, it should throw an alert. Yeah, there you can see there is an alert. Whenever we are again selecting the right information, the alert will go away. So here also the valid and invalid are working, means it is giving correct alerts as and when needed, so it is also green. The next one is gender. Those are radio buttons, so we can select only one. We cannot give any wrong information here. If you're not giving any information, it will throw an error because it's a mandatory. So here you can see either male or female, only one thing we can select here. So that is also working fine. That is also green. The next one is employed. The default selection is blank and we have other options yes or no. Yes, everything is there and it is allowing us to select all the options available there. So that is also green. So it also will not allow us any give to give the wrong information there. The next one is address. So the address, it's kind of the same thing. Without giving any information, it should throw an alert as it is throwing. And when we give only one character, it should not give any alert for us. And the next one is let's give 200 characters. Let me copy those 10, paste again. So let me make it 100 first. Copy and paste again so it will become 200. So do we have any alert here? No. So no alert for the address. So it's a success. So let me type in one more character. Is it taking? No. It's not taking the extra character there. So it is also success. The next one is a phone number. So phone number should allow max of 10. If you haven't given anything, it will throw an error. If you give only one character, then also it will give an alert. So if you are giving less than 10, it will give alert. And if you are giving more than 10, so here it will take more than 10 and also giving an alert. So it is also working fine. So let's mark them as green. But let's mention that it is allowing more than 10 but giving an alert there. Now let's see the last one, receive messages. So that's a checkbox. So the checkboxes will not allow us to give any wrong input. It's kind of either yes or no selection for them. So let's see what happens here. It allows us to either select or unselect the checkbox. Here we are done with the BVA part. So next one is the ECP, equivalence class partition. So we will identify the valid and invalid classes for the input. So first one is the first name. First name valid data is alphanumeric, so it should allow alphabets and numerics. So the valid class becomes A to Z, small a to z and capital A to Z. And invalid becomes special characters only, and 0 to 9 the numerics also comes under the valid class. So let's give those inputs and see what happens. Before that, let's clear out all the data here. So let's remove the first name and last name data only for now. Let me give the numerics as input and see what happens. So I give 1 2. So here you can see there is no alert, so it is accepting the data. Let me give the alphabets. It is taking the that information also. Capital A also it took, so it's kind of all the three values it took. So now let me try the special characters. So whenever I give the special characters and click submit, there you can see there is an alert. So now we have the valid class working and also the invalid class throwing the alert. So we are good there. So everything is green. So the same for the last name. Let's try for the last name by removing some of the data. Okay. So last name alphabets. So still there is some wrong data is there in first name. Let's remove that. So last name, when we give the alphabets, it took alphabets and numerics. Yes, there is no alert still. When I give the special character, you can see there is an alert. So it is also working fine. Let's mark that as green. Next, let's go to address. So address, you can see it should allow alpha, numeric and special characters. So let's give that information there. So, so let me give all alphabets, numeric, special characters, everything and see what happens. So let me click submit. Before clicking submit, let me remove the phone number. Yeah, so here there is no alert on address, but there is an alert on phone number. So we are good with the address field. So the address ECP can mark that as green. The next one is phone number. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. The phone number should allow only the numeric. So the valid class is only 0 to 9. All remaining things will go into the invalid classes. Okay, let me try to give that information and see what happens. Let me type in. So here you can see when I gave the alphabet, it gave me an alert. Special character, it gave me an alert. And the next one is, let me just give the numerics. So whenever I'm giving numerics of 10 characters, it is not giving me any alert. So we are done with the ECP validation also. So it's kind of both BVA and ECP techniques work good here. So this is how we need to create a template to do the input domain testing. And this is a sample template. You can just pause the video and just take note of all this information if needed. This concludes the second part of functional testing, that is input domain validation. Thanks for watching.